All right, thanks. Next week, a locally produced documentary about Chicago's Puerto Rican community makes its world debut on WTTW. Joining me now to talk about the project, producer Antonio Franceschi. Nice to see you. How are you?
How are you this morning?
Great. Nice picking your brain. We're talking about the Cubs and Sox during commercial breaks, you know, about talking about your parents. And I wanted to ask you about that. We'll get into the documentary, but you're Puerto Rican, and you experienced what a lot of people did, and that being your father migrated, if you will, to the Chicago area in masses many, many years ago.
Yeah, particularly in the between the 50s and the 60s, the largest portion of Puerto Ricans came to Chicago, and they were spread out through Chicago, parts of the south sides of Chicago, Lincoln Park, Lakeview, so there were little clusters all over the city.
And this is in the documentary, obviously. Yes. What was it, you think, that brought them, Antonio, brought so many Puerto Ricans to our area during that time period?
It was pretty much, they left Puerto Rico. A lot of Puerto Ricans left Puerto Rico. You had a big migration in New York, but those that came to Chicago, they came looking for work. There was work available here. They would come to Chicago. They would pass the news on to their family members that there were opportunities here. So they came in large numbers just basically looking for work.
We're looking at some of the videos we continue to talk this morning because you really had to, you worked with your wife to put this project together and worked hard to find, you saw archival video, and that must have been quite challenging.
Yeah, it was. I mean, my wife, you know, I like to send a shout out to her. She worked really hard on this production. We started in 2005.
Wow.
And finding the archive footage was really, really, really tough because, you know, when they came here, they just didn't archive a lot of material. You know, they were busy making a living and trying to make a better life for their family and going through those struggles, you know. So they didn't have a lot of archive. That was our biggest challenge, and obviously funding. Funding was really tough, and we're still fighting for that one.
Oh, part of that, 140 or something thousand Puerto Ricans in Chicago. I was asking you in the commercial break. One of the other things you're going to try and do is release an educational DVD. Very important, especially for the youth that are learning about the history, the melting pot, if you will, of our great city.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a DVD that has a discussion guide on it, and it's an educational DVD. We have 2 extra films on there, but it's important because I think that a lot of times you come and you integrate yourself into the city, and sometimes you forget that culture. And I think it's an interesting, it's a rich, it's a fabulous culture, and that DVD will help them pass it on to the next generation.
Let people know as we wrap this up when it airs. It's next week.
It's next week. It's going to be on WTTW at 7:30 on Tuesday, September the 9th.
Tuesday, September 9th. Set the DVR, and then I'm sure it will air more as time goes on on that as well. And then that DVD, throw out your website. I know we're going to try and put a link on as well to ours.
Yeah, the website is, you can go to chicago'spuertoricanstory.com, or you can go to newfilmproduction.com, and we have a lot of information, a lot of pictures, and the DVDs will also be available there.
A lot of people need to realize Puerto Ricans are more than just Humboldt Park.
That's right, that's right, that's right. Absolutely, absolutely.
Antonio, great to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck on the documentary on Tuesday. All right, Zrada, we'll send it over to you.
Ellie. Of course I have it. Ellie. Matt's going to make